Greetings to you all. In this greetings to you all. I am Ambika, Assistant Professor from the Department of English. In this video, I am going to share the topic on subject-verb agreement. The verb must always agree with its subject in number and person. If the subject is singular, the verb will also be singular. If the subject is plural, the verb must also be plural. Examples: we all studied tense forms like I am, we are in the present tense, and you are, and in the third person he, she, it takes is, and they are. And the first rule, this is also called in other words like subject verb agreement or concurred. So here first person, I like sweets. Here we like sweets. Second person, you like, you like. Third person, he, she, it, verb plus yes, they like. This is an exceptional rule in this tense forms. Two or more singular subjects connected by and usually take a verb in the plural form. Rajan and Gopal are friends. Here Rajan is an individual, Gopal is an individual. So when we are referring to two persons, it is plural nouns alone, and it is connected by connective and the verb is only, it should be in the plural form are. And fire and water do not agree. So what is the form of do in the present tense in the sense? Does. So fire and water both are different objects. So we have to use only do not agree. And here both Raja and Rani are good at studies. So Raja is an individual, Rani is another individual. When we are speaking about two individuals, we have to make use of plural verb, good at studies. 2 and 2 make 4. So here 2 is one numeral, other one is 2. So we are talking about two different numbers. So 2 and 2 make 4. Here the verb must be in the plural form. Likewise, Vijay and his father have not returned yet. In this sentence also you have to notice, after his father we cannot apply has not, because his father have not returned yet. So his father is an individual and Vijay is an individual. So when we are referring to two individuals, we have to make the, or we have to apply the plural verb. Next rule, but when two or more nouns refer to one general thing, singular verb is used. Bread and butter is a wholesome food. We cannot separate one thing from the other thing. So we have to make use of only the singular verb in this sentence. Bread and butter is a wholesome food. Law and order is an election issue. And likewise, we have some proverbs also in English. Slow and steady wins the race. So slow or steady, it cannot be separated from one another. Hence, the verb must be in the singular form. Next rule, when two titles or designations are connected by and used to refer to two different persons, like the secretary and correspondent has come, the orator and statesman is dead. In the above given sentences, if you see, the secretary and correspondent, the is used only once, whereas in this example you all can see the poet, the philanthropist. Both are different persons, and we can understood by the definite article the, poet and philanthropist. The is used before two nouns. The poet and the philanthropist are coming for the function. If different persons were referred to, the article would be used before each noun and the verb would be in the plural form. But if the second noun is not preceded by the article, the singular verb is used because both designations or titles refer to one individual alone. So by that definite article there, we all can identify whether they are referring to two persons or only one individual. And we can apply the verbs according to that. The poet and philanthropist is coming for the function. In this sentence, the is used only once. So both designations are referring to the only one person. Hence, we are using is verb in the singular form. Next, the pattern one of is always followed by a plural noun. So one of the will be followed by the plural noun plus singular verb. Okay, one of my friends has gone abroad. One of his uncles is a doctor. One of the teachers has a good sense of humor. We all study degrees of comparison. This is not one of the topics actually, but it is one of the rules among the degrees of comparison. One of the books is missing. So one of the plus books is a plural noun plus is in the singular verb. But when the same phrase occurs in the middle of the sentence as antecedent and is followed by the relative who, that, which, the verb is plural form. John is one of the students who are dependable in all circumstances. Here, John is one of the students. Here also we all can see that one of the students, but here we can find the relative pronoun who are dependable in all circumstances. When one of the students is followed by relative pronoun who, that, or which, the verb must be in the plural form. So John is one of the students who are dependable in all circumstances. When words are added to a singular subject by, with, together with, along with, in addition to, as well as, besides, etc., the verb is singular one. Here we can see the comma also. The file with all the papers is missing. So here the file and all the papers in between that we have with. So when the nouns or singular subjects are connected by with, together, along with, in addition to, as well as, besides, the verb must be in the singular form alone. And comma is also there. So we have to keep in our mind that if the two singular subjects are connected by the words like with, together with, along with, in addition to, etc., we have to apply only the verb in the singular form. But if commas are omitted in written English, the subject is treated as plural and the plural verb is used. The dog along with its master are going for the walk. So in the previous sentence we saw the commas, but here we could not see the commas. Hence we have to apply the verb only in the plural form. Here also the dog and its master, two singular nouns are there, whereas we used only the plural verb. Next one. When two or more noun or pronouns in the singular are connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor, the verb is singular form. Two or more subjects connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor take a verb in the singular form. Either Abdul or Rahim has taken your pen. So here in the sentence we all can see that both nouns are singular alone. So Abdul or Rahim. So both are singular nouns. Hence we are applying the verb in the singular form has taken. Has taken is in the present perfect tense. And neither John nor his brother was there. So neither always denotes that nobody or nothing. So neither John nor his brother was there. So in this sentence, after his brother, we all can see the verb in the singular form. And when subjects join by or, nor, or of different numbers, the verb must be plural and the plural subject must be placed next to the verb. Sita or her parents have come. Sita or her parents have come. In the sentence, we all can note that Sita is a singular subject, her parents have come is her parents is a plural noun, hence we are applying verb in the plural form. And But if the subject nearer to the verb is plural, then the plural verb is used. Either Ramu or his friends have the book. So, which is the nearest noun to the verb is his friends. We are applying the verb in the plural form. If it is singular noun, then we can apply verb in the singular form. But if it is the plural noun, we have to apply plural noun have the. When or nor, either or neither nor joins different persons, the verb agrees with the nearest subject. Either he or you are lying. Like I can say that either you or he has done it. Okay, in this sentence, you is a second person, he is a third person. So we have to apply the verb according to the second subject, that is, he has done it, present perfect tense. Either he or I am responsible for it. In the sentence also, we can note that either he is a third person or I is a first person. I am responsible for it. It is in the present tense. Neither they or she is going to the movie. Neither they or she is a third person singular. He is going to the movie. Though indefinite pronouns like each, every, each one, everybody, anybody, either, neither, no one, nobody take the singular verb. Nobody, no one, nothing, somebody, someone, and something should be followed by a singular verbs alone. Nobody works harder than Alex does. Here we can see that nobody denotes no one. So no one is singular noun alone. So works harder than Alex does. No problem is harder to solve than this one. Something is better than nothing. So each of the books is worth reading. I am referring to only one book. Neither of the answers is correct. So no answer is correct. After all these indefinite pronouns, we are supposed to use only the verb in the singular forms alone. Most indefinite pronouns take singular verbs like someone, somebody, something, anyone, anybody, anything, no one, nobody, nothing, everyone, everybody, everything. Certain nouns, though singular in form, are considered as plural and take the plural form. The cattle are grazing in the field. The police were forced to act. So, hope all of you know that cattle refers to animals, and the police also referring to a person. We are thinking like that, but here we are meaning all the cattle and all the animals which have four legs, and police also referring to all the policemen. So the police were forced to act. Hence, we are making use of the verb in the plural form. There are several nouns plural in form but singular in meaning. Physics is an interesting subject. Politics is a dirty game. So if you see, no news is good news. Mathematics is an interesting subject. The first innings is over. Some nouns which are plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb, and like news, politics, economics, physics, ethics, civics, innings and mathematics, etc. They look like plural in form but they are actually singular in meaning. So we cannot apply by looking at the word physics or politics or ethics. It has the letter ending in S. So we cannot apply R or politics R. It's totally a wrong usage in English language. Certain nouns with plural forms and no singular counterpart are nearly always used with the plural verbs. Riches, grits, eyeglasses, manners, wages, pliers, whereabouts, jeans, binoculars, tweezers, people, scissors, tidings, trousers, minutes, tights, clothes. The scissors are lying on the table. So here, after all these words, we are supposed to use only the plural verbs. Certain collective nouns take the singular or plural verb based on the context. When the noun is taken as a group of collection, it takes the singular verb. A collective noun takes a singular verb when the collection is thought of as one whole, a plural verb when the individuals of which it is composed or thought of. The committee has chosen its president. Here we can use only the verb in the singular form. The committee are divided on this point. In this sentence, we are referring to all the individuals. So we are using verb in the plural form. The class is going for an industrial visit. The class, we are referring to the entire class. We are not meaning anybody as an individual. So they are all going for industrial visit, the students in the particular class. But the same take the plural verb when each member is considered as an individual. The committee believed in stringent action. The audience were delighted with the performance. So here we are referring to each individual, each member of the group. Hence we are applying the verb in the plural form. The committee believe in stringent action. Believe is in the plural verb, and the audience were delighted with the performance. Were delighted is denoting the verb in the plural form. We are referring to each one in one as the audience, and we have to consider everybody and in everybody's view, and they were all delighted with the performance. We cannot take audience as a whole, but we have to consider each member of that particular group. Almost the same principle applies to the class nouns: some of, most of, a lot of, a great deal of, plenty of, lots of, one third of, all fraction, etc. These take the plural verb when they refer to number. Some of the boys are very intelligent. Plenty of roses are available in the market. Here in the first sentence, we can see that some of the rule is some of, most of, a lot of. When the sentence begins with all these words, then we have to apply the plural verb. That is the rule. So some of the boys are very intelligent. Here some of the boys, plural form only, we are applying the plural verb also. Plenty of roses. So roses also plural noun and are available in the market. Plenty of. The same nouns take the singular verb when they refer to quantity. So one third of the land is still fertile. It is referring to the quantity, and hence we are using verb in the singular form. Plenty of water is available. So here we are denoting the verb in the singular form. The majority of can be used only for number, so the verb is always plural form. The majority of students are hardworking. The sentence begins with the majority of. So here the rule is when the sentence starts with the majority of, there we have to make use of only the verb in the plural form alone. So the majority of students are hardworking. Class nouns such as clothing, food, furniture, crockery, cutlery, stationery, and footwear are singular and must therefore take singular verbs alone. The furniture in this room is very old and much food was wasted. Here the examples are: the cutlery in the cupboard is elegant. Your factory with modern equipment is for sale. There is no plural form for all these words like cutlery, stationery, footwear, crockery, furniture, food, clothing. We have to consider those words as a only singular form. So hence we are applying the verb in the singular one. Many a and more than one are followed by a singular noun and takes the singular verb. Many a book is interesting. So here what is the rule? Many a or more than one. If they are followed by a singular noun, then we have to apply the singular verbs. Many a book is interesting. More than one candidate was absent in the meeting. Okay, and next rule is but many and more used alone refer to number, and so take the plural verb. Many students were present at the function. In the previous example, we saw that many a book is interesting. Here we are seeing many students were present at the function. So here a is missing over here, and in the previous example, we saw that more than one, but here we are seeing more volunteers are needed. Here the verb agrees with the real number or nouns. So many students is in the singular, students is in the plural form, hence the verb must be in the plural verb. And more volunteers is the plural noun. We are applying the plural verb also. A great many also takes the plural verb. A great many food items lie unused. Here, the rule is if the sentence starts with a great many, it should take the plural verb. A great many food items lie unused. Phrases beginning with a term of, a chain of, a flock of, a bouquet of, a crowd of, a series of, a set of take the singular verb, though the word after them is plural form. A series of cereals is telecast every day. A regiment of soldiers is deployed for election duty. So after all these phrases, though the noun look like a plural one, we have to apply only the verb in the singular forms alone. If sentence begins with a number of, the verb is plural, whereas if it begins with the number of, the verb is singular. The rule is very clear that when a sentence starts with a number of, the verb must be in the plural form. If the sentence starts with the number of, then the verb must be in the singular form. So here a number of students are playing in the ground. A number of. The verb is in the plural form. Next rule, the number of students good at sports is very few. Here the sentence starts with the number of. The verb is in the singular one. Likewise, we have some more rules. A pair of when applied to things where the two components are always thought of together as singular. There is a pair of scissors on the table. A pair of shoes cost much, but if we omit the words a pair of and merely use the plural word, then of course it must take a plural verb. Those scissors are costly. These shoes are new. And a lot of, a great deal of, plenty of, most of, and some of are singular when they refer to amount or quantity, but plural when they refer to number. A lot of work is still pending. A lot of people prefer tea to coffee, and there are plenty of IT courses available right now. So when they refer to amount or quantity, we have to make use of the singular but plural when they are referring to the number of persons. And when the plural number applies to distances, weights, heights, or amounts of money and represents a single figure or quantity, it is treated as a singular and takes a singular verb. 50 kilometers is a good distance. Here we are saying 50 kilometers, though it appears like a plural noun, we have to treat that as a whole and 50 kilometers. After that, we have to make use of only the verb in the singular form. 500 rupees is a good sum of money. Here also, whatever the amount is, we have to make use of only verb in the singular form alone. Likewise, when the subject is the formal there, the verb agrees with the real subject that follows it. So here the verb agrees with the real subject. There are all the sentences are starting with there. So there are many books in our library. So here the verb agrees with the real subject, many books. Many books is a plural noun. So we are applying are. There is a book on a table. So after is we can notice that a book is a singular noun. So It agrees with the real subject that follows that there are several pages missing from this book. And here also we can notice that several pages, it's a plural noun. We have to apply verb in the plural form. There is a cause for everything. There was an accident here last week. Likewise, if a title of a literary work or the name of a house or hotel is a plural form, for purposes of agreement, it is treated as a singular, since it is only one title or one building. Gulliver's Travels was written by Swift. The Arabian Nights has delighted many generations. So here in this sentence, we can notice that Gulliver's Travels is looking like a singular noun only, but it is appearing like a plural noun, Gulliver's Travels. The Arabian Nights, it is looking like a plural noun, nights, but it is not so. We have to make use of only the verb in the singular form after all these uh, titles of a literary work, name of a house or a hotel. It should be treated as a singular nouns alone. And likewise, poultry, people, and cattle are plural form. Like those poultry are mine, and these people are good, and whose cattle are these? So, in the previous examples, we have seen it. So, we have to treat those words as plural forms alone. And words joined to a singular subject by with together with addition to or as well as etc. are parenthetical and therefore do not affect the number of verb. The chief with his followers was present there. The cow as well as the horse eats grass. The president with the members of the trust has arrived. So one should be always followed by one. He should do his duty. She should do her duty. In the present tense of most English verbs, the third person singular ends in s. She speaks English fluently. She dances well. My friend likes swimming. So some nouns which are plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb: news, politics, economics, physics, ethics, civics, innings, mathematics, etc. So we have to keep all these rules in our mind in order to avoid some mistakes in our speaking or listening, writing part. Final rule, remember only the subject that affects the verb. Let us pass on to the exercise on subject verb agreement. First question is Annie and her brothers is or are at school. The answer is her brothers is in the plural form. We have to apply only are. Either my mother or my father is or are coming to the meeting. Answer is because both nouns are singular form. The dog or the cats is or are outside. Are because second noun is in the plural form, hence we have to apply only the plural verb. Either my shoes or your coat is or are always on the floor. Here the answer is because your coat. And next one, Balu and Ravi does not or don't want to see that movie. Here the answer is don't because we are referring to two individuals. Josh does not or don't know the answer. Here we are referring to only one person. We can apply does not know the answer. One of my sisters is or are going on a trip to France. The answer is. The man with all the birds live on my street. Here we can see that two nouns are connected with but there is no comma. Hence we are making use of live, the plural verb in the sentence. The movie, including all the previews, takes about 2 hours to watch. Takes. And the players as well as the captain wants to win. Either answer is or are acceptable. Either answer is acceptable. Every one of those books is or fiction. Every one of those books is fiction. So after every, we have to make use of only the verb in the singular form. Nobody know or knows the trouble I have seen. So here the answer is nobody knows the trouble. So we have to remember the indefinite pronouns like nobody, no one, nothing, somebody, someone, something. It should be followed by the singular verbs alone. Is or the news on at 5 or 6. So here is the news on at 5 or 6. Mathematics is or John's favorite subject, while civics is or Andrea's favorite subject. In both places, we have to apply only the verb in the singular form. $8 is or the price of a movie these days. So whatever the amount, we have to apply only the verb in the singular form when we are referring to the money. Is or the tweezers in this drawer. So are the tweezers in this drawer. Your pants are at the cleaners. There was or were 15 candies in that bag. Now there is or only one left. There were 15 candies because sentence starts with they. It agrees with the real subject that follows that. So 15 candies is in the plural form. So we have to apply where. Now there is only one left, only one in the sense singular form alone. So we are applying is. The committee debates these questions carefully. Here it is considered as a whole, but in the 21st question, the committee leads or lead very different lives in private. So different lives in the sense we are referring to different persons. Hence we are applying the committee lead very different lives in private. So we have to keep all these rules in our mind in order to write or speak the language correctly. There are humpty number of rules in subject verb agreement, but I have just focused on the particular rules which are helpful to everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.